Hey, what's up everybody? Hammerheart Metal Reviews here once again doing another discography ranking for you today. And today we're going to be talking about what I consider to be a severely underrated band, Darkenhöld. If you have not heard this band before, they are from France. They play melodic black metal with a very medieval vibe. A lot of medieval black metal bands come from France, so this would be for fans of bands like Vehement, Orlac, Sunopfer. Outside of France, some similarities to Dissection with some of the riffing, early Abigor with some of the melodies in there, and just the overall medieval groundwork here. They have been around since 2008 to present. Their most recent album was from 2020, so hopefully we'll get a new album from them soon. Like I said, I feel like this is a super underappreciated band. They really have that groundwork of like mid-90s inspired black metal, but they infuse it with so much melody and just these great medieval atmospheres. They have only got 5 albums, but I will say that all 5 albums are awesome. There's not really any weak moments here. This is very hard to rank considering something like my least favorite compared to others, because truly I like all 5 of these albums. They pretty much have the same lineup intact throughout their career. They have had some guests here and there are some session players, but you've got Aboth on drums and keys, Servant on lead vocals, and then Aldebaran on guitar, bass, and backing vocals. So like I said, they've only got 5 albums, so I'm going to run through them from my least favorite down to my favorite. But once again, yeah, all of these are good. So even when I'm putting in 5th, it's still solid, but something has to come last. Let's find out what it is. So, coming in 5th place, my least favorite Darkenhöld album is their 4th album, Memoria Silvarum, from 2017. So this is their second most recent album, and it builds upon the groundwork like set out from those first 3 albums. Really got the medieval atmosphere, such great riffing, melodic black metal riffing. There's even some more choirs added to this album that really gives it more of an epic flavor. All in all, this is a very solid offering. I just maybe don't find it quite as engaging as the previous albums. There's nothing wrong here. I just find myself personally going to the other albums a little bit more than this, but this is still a solid album. The best songs on here I am probably going to mispronounce. La Chevauchée de l'Esprit de Jadis and Présence du Orbe, which is like an 8.5-minute closer to the album, is absolutely stand out. So all in all, it's still a very solid album, but in 5th place just because I like the other ones a little bit more. All right, up next in 4th, I'm going to their sophomore album, which is from 2012, Echoes from the Stone Keeper. This one sounds like it could have been plucked directly from the mid-90s. It's just got that mid-90s black metal feel that I love. Even sprinkle in some acoustic guitar flourishes, and it's got just the right amount of synths and keyboards here. It's not overdone, it's just really for atmosphere. They don't kill it, they don't go overboard, they don't make it cheesy. It's just really adds and gives it this chilling atmosphere. It's a very dark and grim album. But that being said, there's so much melody here, like melodic riffing is just on full display here. It's mostly harsh black metal vocals, but there are a few choirs sprinkled in as well. Favorite tracks on here, Wyvern Solitude Chant is amazing. Mesni Helican, Castle Runes Anthem is great. Like, all in all, this is a very solid album. If you have this higher than 4th, totally makes sense to me. All 5 of these albums are so good. Pretty much any order works here, but yeah, let's see what I've got coming up next. In 3rd place, I'm going to their most recent album, which is from 2020, Arcane and Sortilege. So this one honestly has some of their best riffs to date. The riffs on this album just stand out. So goddamn good. I love the riffs these guys write. It's got medieval, folky melodies in spades throughout this album, and there's really nice lead work as well. Like, the guitar really shines on this album. Throughout the whole thing, it's really got this like mystical feeling, and it just captures that medieval atmosphere perfectly. If I had to pick favorite songs, Oriflamme, Incantations is great, Heldique as well. All in all, really great album, in at number 3. So that just leaves 2, my 2 favorite Darkenhöld albums. This was really tough. These 2, I think, stand out a little bit more than the rest, although those first 3 I talked about are amazing. These next two, if you've never heard them before, go check out one of these two albums, let you know what they're all about. So coming in second, I'm going with their debut from 2010, A Passage to the Towers. So this one just has effective melodic riffs throughout, aggressive vocals. The drumming is really on point here. It's just an excellent debut. They really showcase what they're all about, what sound they're going for. It's got these really memorable guitar lines, and the keys and synths are just used for that extra atmosphere. It's got really great production, especially for a debut, and it just really, it's like uplifting, triumphant black metal. It's the kind of stuff that you're gonna raise your fist to. You want to drink to it, you want to swing a sword. Even though some people may say this is a little bit too accessible for black metal, this is what they're going for. They're not trying to be the most raw band out there. It's supposed to be melodic here, and it just really adds to the atmosphere, and it's just riffs that really drive these songs. All in all, awesome stuff here. Excellent debut. Best songs: Marble Bestiary, Cleansing the Ethereal Waves, Crimson Legions is great. All in all, great album in at number 2. So that just leaves one. My favorite Darkenhöld album. I'm going to their third album, which is from 2014, titled Castellum. This one is probably their most like straight in your face approach. Like, it's just more streamlined with the songwriting, and I think it's all the better for it. It doesn't necessarily meander in different directions. You know exactly what you're getting. In your face black metal with that medieval flair. Like, it's got a similar style to the first two albums, but I feel like it packs a little bit more punch here. There's still acoustics and keys sprinkled in, once again, in the perfect amount. They really know how to utilize those extra elements without overdoing it, and just really creates this almost like cinematic experience on this album. Just takes you to medieval times, just medieval black metal, one of the best in the game at that. Favorite songs on here: Stronghold's Eternal Rivalry is probably my favorite Darkenhöld song. It's like an 8-minute epic to open the album. Glorious Horns is great. Le Souffle de Pierre is absolutely amazing. The reason I put this one in first, I do find that the vocals sound better than ever on this album as well. Not that they sound bad on the others, but they have a little bit more of a vicious bite on this album. And just all in all, no weak moments, front to back, absolutely awesome album. So these are just my thoughts and opinions as usual. I'd love to hear yours down below. If you've never listened to Darkenhöld before, do yourself a favor and go check them out. Especially if you're into any of the bands I mentioned at the beginning and are just interested in medieval black metal, French black metal, or just black metal, go check these guys out. Super underrated, underappreciated. They deserve more love. So go listen to them and let me know your favorites down below. So anyways, until next time, Hammerheart Metal Reviews out.